Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of the flat hunting, house hunting series in London. I think I'm going to go through another 7 or 8 properties with you today. I'm going to try and focus on the cost of the property, so buying, and also the service charges if applicable, what I did like about it and what I didn't like about it. If they are still available, I'll let you know in case you're interested, but most of the ones I have seen aren't available anymore. But yeah, as I did the last one, I'm going to be watching the videos on my phone and chatting to you whilst the video is playing up, probably somewhere here on screen. And I also have some news for you at the end of the video, which won't be out on social media yet, so you guys on YouTube are getting the exclusive, so make sure you watch till the end of the video for that. The first property, or actually property number 9, is the 1-bed flat in Belgrave Gardens. And yeah, this one had so many stairs. It was at the top of the building. And that's the second reason I didn't go for this property, because there is no way I'd be climbing those stairs every single day. It had so much light and I really liked the area. It was a bit of a walk away from a main train station, maybe, when I say train, I also mean tube, by the way, but yeah, probably about 10 minutes, but that was okay. The building was also really lovely. It seemed like it was well kept, but you also never know. People asked about the roof and whether the roof would be, or the roof space would be included in the purchase. And I don't know, I didn't look into it, but more so than often, whatever that phrase is, if you're on the top floor, it might be written into the contract that you have, if no one else is able to access the roof, and no one would be able to access the roof in this building because there's no communal space to be able to access it, so potentially you could use it for storage, or like I said, like maybe a little terrace. If that was possible, you'd have to go through planning permissions and building regulations for that, but might have been possible and it could have been nice. Like I said, the price jumped from, it was ordering on at 280,000 I think, and then they raised it a couple of days before the auction, 360. So for a 1-bed, I don't particularly want a 1-bed, I want a 2-bed, but I would have considered it, and that's why I went to see this. But yeah, it was, I don't know why they increased the price. Maybe there was so much interest in it that they did. But yeah, it was a really spacious apartment, and I did like it, but 1-bed, hella stairs, and the price just jumped pre-auction, so didn't go for it, and that was why. Next property. Okay, the next property was in NW10. It was in a house, which I really liked. It was the first floor of a house, and it came with the rights to use or convert the loft space. So you could potentially have made this place into a 2-story, so it felt more like a house, which I really loved, and there was so much potential with that. The actual footprint of the property was okay, but I think with the way it was laid out and the way that the people had the stuff in it, it kind of made me feel really claustrophobic. And like I said in the video, there was a king-size bed in that room, and I actually have a king-size bed, so seeing it in the room kind of made me feel, okay, like, there wouldn't really be anywhere else to put the bed in that room, so this would be the reality of dealing with a king-size bed in that room. So I'd either have to get a smaller bed, and I really like king-size bed, as you can see, or just have to deal with it. The entrance was really small as well. The 2 times I went in and out of that building, I was already annoyed with the entrance, so that was the main reason I didn't go for this property. The other thing was that it had a garden space, which I think was great, but it was a hassle to get there, so I felt like I wouldn't use it as much because it was such a hassle to get to the garden. You had to go down the stairs, out through the front yard, round through a garage, and then into the backyard, which is great that it was there, but I don't think I would use it just because of that. It was on at a decent price. I think it was on around 350 or 375, I can't remember. But yeah, it was 1 minute away from the train station, which was a positive. You can go into the roof, which was a positive, but I just didn't think this one was for me. It was also a 1-bed, but like I said, you can go up into the roof, so you could have catered to 1 or 2 more bedrooms and a bathroom. Yeah, next property. Okay, so this was the ground floor flat in Queen's Park. It was actually between Queen's Park and Westbourne Park stations, which perfect location for me. I was slightly misled with this property because on the listing it said it had a garden. So I thought at the back of the kitchen where you see the windows, the bit going out behind that was the garden. It was not. It was the part where there's the bay window in the kitchen, dining, living area. That was the garden, which wasn't really a garden, and it was southwest facing, but there was a massive wall in front of it, so you wouldn't really get too much sunlight anyway. And when you did go into the back of that house, you could feel the lack of sunlight because it was a really sunny day and there was no sun that came into that kitchen, living, diner. So that was the main reason I didn't go for this property. The bedroom sizes were great though, and the head height, the ceiling height was really high, and that was such a plus for me as well because you really felt like you were in a big room, even though like footprint wise it wasn't that big. Guide price was 341,000, and it got withdrawn from the auction, so I don't think it didn't sell, and I haven't seen it come up since. But yeah, I think if you were into this area and you were okay with the smaller living kitchen diner, or you could just have the one bed and make the front room the living room, this might be a good place for you. So the auctioneers were Bernard Marcus, if you're interested and you want to see if this comes up again. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is the one that I was 100% that I was going to bid on this property. I went to see it 3 times. I was so down for it. It needed a lot of work. There were structural issues. There was damp. But I was willing to deal with that. And like I said in the video, these are the properties that people don't want because people don't want to deal with that. And these are the little gems. There were also some controversial comments in the video about it being West Kilburn and not Queen's Park. Like, Queen's Park is literally right there, so that's why I called it Queen's Park. It's on the border of Queen's Park and West Kilburn, but whatever you want to call it, it's fine. You do you, boo. I liked that it was split level. The kitchen and bathroom were at one end and then the bedrooms and the living room were at the other. I would have definitely changed that if I could. There was a double height entrance, so I think it could have been possible to move the kitchen up to the second floor, the higher level, and also add a bathroom and have the kitchen the bedroom and then the bathroom stayed the bathroom. So it would have become a 2-bed, 2-bath with a kitchen, living, diner at the front with the dual aspect windows. So those were the plans. It was on for 290,000, and I was sure it wouldn't go for much more than that because the 3 times I went to see it, the first time there were about 5-6 people there, and the second two times there was no one else there, it was just me. So I was sure that if I bid for it, I would have got it. I remember the service charge being very fair and very decent. I think it was about 1,000. There was only that flat and then a flat below it in the building. And then there was also the roof space, which I'm pretty sure was included on the deeds. So you would be able to use the roof space. And I saw that a few doors down, they had gone into the roof and also added a roof terrace above what is the kitchen and bathroom area. So it could have ended up being a beautiful duplex with 2-3 bedrooms, 2-3 bathrooms and a roof terrace. But yeah, as you know, if you watched the video, it got taken off of the auction, so I didn't even get to bid on it, which was really sad. But maybe it was for the best. Let's move on. Okay, now this one was a gem, I have to say. It was a 2-bed, 2-bath, fairly modern apartment in Acton, 5 minutes away from Acton main line station. It was on for 335, I think, and I'm pretty sure it's gone right now, but if you want to look it up, you can. It was right near Acton main line. It was 335. It had a south-facing balcony. Like, the light shining in from that balcony is just gorgeous. I can imagine a lot of summers sitting out on that balcony, or even inside in the living room with the balcony doors open. Yeah, it was beautiful. And it was in good work. I definitely have to put my stamp on it, but there didn't seem to be any structural issues, damp, anything like that. So that was a big plus, even though you guys know I'm looking for a project. And with regards to the service charge, I believe it was around 2K. It was reasonable for considering the properties that I'd seen, if you have seen part 1 of this house hunt. So yeah, it was reasonable. And what didn't I like about this property? The first thing were the stairs, which I didn't show you in the video, but like the Belgrave Gardens apartment, this was the 5th floor and there was no lift, so you had to walk all the way up the stairs. The balcony and the size of the apartment did make up for that though, so it was one thing to consider. I think people also had buggies and stuff in the hallway, which is slightly annoying. Like, I know if you don't have space in your apartment, you need someone to put them, but then the buggies, the bikes, they take up the hallway space. So if I'm bringing something big up and I have to navigate around a bike or a buggy, it's quite frustrating. So that was one thing about the stairs. And then secondly, I have to say that the walk, even though it was a 5-minute walk from the station to the apartment, it was a bit uncomfortable, because I wasn't wearing anything fairly like revealing. I had a V-neck top on and a long skirt on, and it was a halter neck. But I got so many stares from the men that were there, in the shops, outside the station, and it was just really uncomfortable. And it was hot. It wasn't in August that I went to see this, so it was a hot summer's day. And yeah, it wasn't a revealing outfit. You could see actually in the video, you can see me in the reflection. But yeah, the men were just staring and I felt so uncomfortable. So I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to feel uncomfortable in the area that I'm living in. I feel like I'm being, ogled when I'm walking down the street, even if it was a 5-minute walk. So that's why I decided not to go for this apartment. I'm pretty sure it's gone, but if you do want to look, I think I found it on Rightmove. If it's still available, I'll link it down below in the description for you. Right, let's move on to the final property. Okay, so this property was so exciting. This was the 3rd property that I put an offer in for. Is it the 3rd one? Yeah, this is the 3rd one, because the first 2 were in the part 1. Now, as you can see, it was a duplex or even triplex, because there were more stairs that went out to the roof terrace. But yeah, it really felt like a house. As soon as you entered the front door, it felt like a house, which I loved. It was grey and white, very boring, but I would have changed that. There was a little bit of damp underneath 3 of the windows. That wasn't a problem for me. It's okay. Like, it wasn't anywhere else in the walls. It was clearly because of damp proofing around the window, and it hadn't been done, or it had just needed to be replaced. So I was okay with that. Wasn't a big issue. The terrace was a flat terrace, and it obviously wasn't made to be a terrace, so that wasn't done properly. So that would be something that I would need to think about in the future. And that was in the survey report that I got, which you guys know that I got a survey report because I progressed pretty far with this property. It was on an auction. It didn't sell at auction, hence why the estate agent called me to tell me it was still on and available, still interested in it. So when he said it was available and if I was still interested, I said yes. It was 3-bed, 1 bath and a kitchen, living, diner. It would have been a squeeze kitchen, living, diner, but the flat itself was spacious enough for me to forgive that. I eventually had plans to turn it into a 2-bed, 2-bath, so getting rid of 1 bedroom, but adding a bathroom, and I think that made more sense for me. And when I did the research into getting rid of bedrooms, adding bathrooms, it didn't change that much in price, and actually people prefer 2 beds, 2 baths to 3 beds, 1 bath. Also in an area that I liked, and yeah, I thought that I had found the one. And I haven't posted the next videos yet, but they will be posted this week. But I did not get the flat, and you'll have to follow me on Instagram or TikTok or watch my shorts to find out why, but I didn't end up getting that flat, which sucked because I thought that was it. I thought I was done with house hunting. but alas, we still have to continue. Thank you so much for being here and sharing in this journey with me. We thought we found it, we haven't, so we're still going to keep going. Make sure you do follow me on Instagram and TikTok, even though you're getting this here first, actually. You're getting this news here first. No one else is getting this news. Even though this didn't work out, I do have some more plans, which I'm not going to speak on. Oh, that was the other thing. People have commented about me posting stuff in real time. I can assure you, this is not real time. All of this has happened a while ago. I mean, as much as I want you to come along on the journey with me in real time, and actually I think I might on my stories on Instagram do real-time videos like of things happening now. But as much as I want you to come along on the journey with me, there are some things that I just want to be kept private, and I just want to know the outcome myself before telling you guys. The experiences and the emotions are all real in these videos, and it's how I felt when I first saw them. But yeah, they're not real-time videos. There are a couple of weeks, months behind. Some things are in the works, so I'm not going to speak on them yet. You will hear about them probably in a couple of months, so make sure you subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye.